Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm just making a quick video here. And I just saw about 20 minutes ago that Dalvin Cook is to be released tomorrow by the Vikings. And that has some major fantasy implications if that happens, obviously. I saw a report, though, that they could still trade him by tomorrow. They can buy a trade partner. If that doesn't work, he's supposed to be released. I saw two teams that have been mentioned, and mentioned even actually before as far as trading goes. That is the Dolphins and the Broncos. The Dolphins have been linked to him even before the draft, and the Broncos have been linked to him as well recently, with general manager George Payton having worked with the Vikings, obviously. In fact, he may have even been the one that drafted. I think he drafted Cook in Minnesota. So there's a link there. And those two teams are interesting. The Broncos, obviously, we don't know Javonte Williams' health at this point right now. Is he going to be good to go for the beginning of the season? Is he going to be out maybe on PUP? Is he going to come back maybe later in the season? How that injury is, I'm not sure. I know he went through walkthroughs recently in an OTA, but there's still question marks there. They brought in Samaje Perine. So if Williams is not healthy, then you have Perine bringing in Cook. Cook can actually have a pretty good fantasy value there. Miami, I wonder about, because they have a Shane they just drafted, and then of course they re-up with Mostert and Wilson. I know Wilson has, I think, the bigger contract than Mostert does, but you have kind of a slew of running backs there. Mike McDaniels obviously loves all those two, and Wilson and Mostert. So if they bring in Cook, does something give there? Is maybe Mostert, if he has a smaller contract than Wilson, which I think he does, do they let him go? But they have a rookie. I'm not quite sure how that one plays out. That one could be a little bit more muddled, I think. And the Broncos could well be muddled as well, depending on Javonte Williams' health. The other, I think, that had been talked about too, the Bills, because of Dalvin Cook's brother James playing for the Bills. That could be an interesting spot. Obviously, they brought in Damian Harris in free agency. They signed Latavius Murray. And again, I don't know, that Murray's contract is, one of those ones they can get rid of pretty quickly. And if they brought in Cook, maybe they just release Murray. But there's obviously some mouths there as well too to feed running the ball too. But with his brother being there, I think that's another place to look at. I think here we're looking at too. Let's look at the other side of this too. Alexander Mattison. So we're looking where Cook is going to go and what fantasy impact he's going to have. Sure, absolutely. But let's go back to Minnesota now. Now that Cook is gone, Alexander Mattison is now stepping up and going to be the RB1. And I think you have to put him, I would put him up between 10 and 15 in running backs in the rankings. I would have him slotted between 10 and 15, somewhere there. When he has played for Dalvin Cook, he has been an RB1 most of the time. In at least a high RB2. Most of the time he's in an RB1 range. I think you have to put him up in a like a low RB1 range. Or maybe a high RB2, if you're looking at a 12-team league, and somewhere slot between 10 and 15, which is where I would put him. So I think he is the one that's really his fantasy value is really going to skyrocket. It's going to be interesting to see where a lot of these sites like ESPN, CBS, NFL.com, and Fantasy Pros, all of those, what they do with him. It'll be interesting to see where they rank him. Again, I would put him in the 10 to 15 range. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that news. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next 24 hours or so. And so we'll revisit this, particularly when if he gets released and finds a home. But as of right now, just wanted to share my thoughts on this situation. So if you have any comments, please comment below, and please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Until next time, take care.